Okay, so YouTube has officially lost it.
That YouTube announced it was experimenting with butts.
Good old Susan
Wojcicki.
That's a big problem.
In the past week or so, we've been hearing a lot about how YouTube is planning on making the dislike counts on videos private because, like, community safety or whatever that means.
The update from YouTube is that the dislike button is staying, but the dislike counts will now be private.
Now, in their update posts, YouTube has said that this change is supposed to help create an inclusive and respectful environment where creators have the opportunity to succeed and feel safe to express themselves. But I think that we all know that that's total bullshit. Here's why YouTube is actually removing the dislike button.
Gotcha, bitch!
Flashback to December 6, 2018. YouTube posts one of their most infamous videos to date, the 2018 YouTube Rewind.
Yeah, it's rewind time.
This video was a complete mess. The awkward writing and the terrible lack of self-awareness
Is this what you wanted?
led to a lot of backlash from the community. The video currently has almost 19.8 million dislikes, and even 3 years later has remained in the top spot of the most disliked videos on the platform. That's like pretty impressive. I mean, having a video from YouTube itself being the most hated thing on the platform for 3 years straight has gotta be one of the biggest L's anyone has ever taken.
L nerd!
And then, somehow, the 2019 Rewind was even worse.
Play me some of that jumping music.
Instead of even attempting to make a decent video, YouTube decided to make a listicle-style video showing some of the top statistics from the platform. Yeah. Susan could have hired the Watch Mojo team to make a better rewind than this. Okay, hi, little tangent. I'm editing right now, but you cannot tell me that this motherfucker right here doesn't look exactly like Ludwig.
Boy!
I mean, look at him! That's Ludwig! I found a whole bunch of other pictures of the same model, and it literally tells like a little story here. Like, first you see him getting a bad grade on a test back. He looks very disappointed with himself. And then he pulls up his bootstraps and gets to studying. And then when he finally turns it in, he gets a great grade. And then he like puts his tie on his head for some reason, and then goes snorkeling at his desk. Yeah. Look at this cool pie chart. Let me just, squeeze in here and unpause that for you. There you go. Anyway, I mean, to be fair, I'm pretty sure literally anyone that had watched YouTube over the past year could have done better, but that's beside the point. The 2019 Rewind was, unsurprisingly, met with a very similar reaction from the community and made it to the number 6 spot on the list, with just over 9.5 million dislikes. YouTube itself having not just one, but 2 of the top 10 most disliked videos of all time is actually kinda sad. I mean, the execs have to be actually brain dead up that badly twice. The removal of the public dislike count, while unexpected, makes a lot of sense when you think about it from the perspective of, you know, a money-hungry corporation. I mean, what's the point of actually listening to your audience when you can just pretend they don't exist? One of the original co-founders of YouTube,
Jad Kareem.
acknowledged that this was a terrible idea. Calling the removal of dislikes a good thing for creators cannot be done without conflict by someone holding the title of YouTube Creators Liaison. We know this because there exists not a single YouTube creator who thinks that removing the dislikes is a good idea, for YouTube or for its creators. As a creator who's been on this platform for years, literally no one asked for this. I've personally spoken to my friends in the YouTube community who are also against this change, and I've seen hundreds of tweets and comments saying the same things as well. Here's a tweet from Thaf9, a YouTuber with around 300k subscribers, saying that YouTube removing the dislikes is one of the absolute worst things they have ever done. Having a big fat dislike next to a working like count just makes it look like it doesn't work, and scams, screamers, fake videos are going to be rampant again. Programmers trying to find a good tutorial after YouTube removed the dislike count, and there's apparently already browser extensions to help you get your dislike buttons back on YouTube. YouTube removed the dislike button, now you'll have to watch 30 tutorials before you get the right one because you won't be able to tell if it's fake just by looking at the dislike count. Oh, and Serenado's GTA 6 video only has likes now. Awesome. If you don't know, this guy posts a bunch of fake GTA 6 videos, and stuff like this is going to be even more rampant on the site now that you're not going to be able to see at a glance if something is completely fake like this. It's also pretty ironic that at the same time that YouTube has been trying to remove the dislike count from being public, Twitter is actually implementing a new feature where you can downvote replies. This one is from Shantae for Smash, and it says, "Man, people seem really pleased with this new NSO online expansion. It got 1.4 million views, 18k likes, and no dislikes. I've never seen such overwhelming positivity on a Nintendo decision in my life. Surely this isn't misleading information because YouTube got rid of the dislike count."
Oh, hi, thanks for checking in. I'm still a piece of garbage.
Okay, that one was actually pretty good. How is the newer generation supposed to know how to feel about Rebecca Black's Friday when there's no public dislike count on it anymore? That's taking away a critical cultural moment in our history. Why would YouTube make this universally disliked change? There is a reason, but it's not a good one, and not one that'll be publicly disclosed. YouTube would never outright admit that they're not doing this for their creators, but this is just about as close to definitive proof as we're gonna get. The removal of the dislike button will do nothing but make the platform worse. Since YouTube was first created, the dislike button has been used to signify the voices of millions of users across the platform. How else are you supposed to know if a tutorial video is outdated, or if someone is spreading misinformation? If YouTube really wanted to help its creators, they would be cracking down on things that really matter, brought to their attention by the community, and not doing purely performative stunts like this.
But